It's a beautiful day. The birds were singing. I'm sure they'll sing again. Oh, it's nice. Oh, a crow. Two crows. Um, oh yeah, don't shoot the messenger. That popped up in my head today, but that's not quite correct. Sometimes it's don't judge the messenger. People come into our lives, and this also goes along the idea of there's the 3D plane where everything's obvious, and then there's that land where things aren't always exactly obvious. Ooh, and a big truck is gonna go by very slowly. Don't judge the messenger. So sometimes people come into our lives, and on the 3D level, there's whatever judgment there is about this person. But don't ever judge the messenger. Whatever, so sometimes people, they bring up something that maybe you started doing, and then you got distracted by life and other things happening and just couldn't finish through. And sometimes people bring up those things, and sometimes their reason for you doing it isn't your reason. Don't let that throw you off. Everything that ever comes up in life, no matter who brings it up or what their reasons for you doing it is, it's very, very important to stop and be what is to stop. Stop for a second and see if this is something you want. Regardless of the reason you're being given, you should do it, which might not be what you want. And I'm saying this because the most brilliant thing happened a month ago. Someone brought up something for a reason that I wasn't interested in, but someone brought up something that I had started 3 years ago, got distracted in the process, and was now at a full circle point and hadn't realized it. And because it was something I wanted to do 3 years ago, I went and investigated doing it. And it's something that needed funding, something I can't afford to do. So I called up the people who would fund it, and it turned out that in that little window of particular moment, because of things that had transpired, caused it so that I could have funding to do this thing that they don't normally fund people to do. But in this tiny little window of time, because I called up right then in that window, unknowing it was a window, I could have the funding to do this thing I wanted to do 3 years ago, but got distracted. A month goes by, and then I found out that the window is even more magical than I thought. Not only was this a tiny little window because of what was evolving in my life and what had just happened that I didn't understand, I also didn't understand that some rules had been changed 4 months before, causing these people to see this window that I was in from this angle instead of that angle, which was the angle it was. And through assumption of which angle the window is going, I got the funding, and the thing I wanted to do 3 years ago is now in process and is now being done. And a month ago, when I found out it was the window, I was awe-inspired. Wow, that's wonderful. Now, when I find out all of the details of this window and how complicated that window was, there are no words. Except for don't judge the messenger. The person who put this thought into my head was a scammer. And this is the point. Don't ever judge the messenger. Because you will be given information, you will be given your next step, you will be given what you need to do in this moment with whoever happens to be available to tell you. Spirit doesn't judge. They just want to get the message to you. Love you all.